Off the Cuff is supported by Patreon. Join today and become an honorary producer and get in-show credit on every episode. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Welcome to Off the Cuff. Thanksgiving is probably my favorite holiday. It really is. I mean, what's not to love? You have the food, you have the parade, you have the food. Did I mention the food? I just love Thanksgiving. As a matter of fact, the Thanksgiving meal is the first meal I ever learned how to cook. Yeah, turkey stuffing the works. But on today's show, I'm not worried about the turkey and the stuffing. I'm going for a dessert and a side dish. For the dessert, I mean classic pumpkin pie. I love pumpkin pie. I'm going to show you how to make a sugar-free pumpkin pie that's so good it will fool your friends, and it's really easy to make. Then I'm going to make a very famous side. What side is that, you ask? The famous, sometimes infamous, Green Bean Casserole. Can you believe I've never had it? I've certainly never made it. Today will be the first time. I'm going to make a version of the Green Bean Casserole that's low carb and hopefully really, really delicious. I'll let you know. So the food part of Off the Cuff Thanksgiving is all set. Now for something extra. What holiday is complete without a Charlie Brown special? Yeah, we all love Charlie Brown. Well, guess what? I've come across a new portion of a new special. Yeah, it features Charlie and his adult daughter Charlene. And it's about Thanksgiving. And I have a clip of it. Here, watch.
Good grief, Dad! Can't you hear me sighing?
Sweet Babu, what's up?
Dad, please don't call me that.
Well, Aunt Sally used to call Uncle Lion that all the time. I think it's cute.
Well, I hate it. And he's not my real uncle.
It's not like Sally didn't try. Actually, she still is. Boy, does she have a crush on Linus.
I have real problems, Dad.
Oh, what are they? Maybe I can help.
These are deep psychological issues. I don't think you can handle it.
Well...
And don't tell me to go to Lucy. She's not a real psychiatrist. And she just tells my problems to the whole neighborhood.
Well, I went to her. Look how I turned out. Well, what do you want for 5 cents?
I don't know that I want to come to Thanksgiving this year.
Oh, rats, why?
Dad, it's nuts around here.
Yeah, peanuts.
You know what I mean.
Oh, think of all the things you'll be missing. The food?
The food? Really? I mean, everyone else gets turkey and stuffing and cranberry sauce. And we get popcorn and jelly beans and pretzels and buttered toast.
You forgot my favorite, the ice cream sundaes.
But that's not Thanksgiving.
Well, Thanksgiving isn't only about food, it's about friends and family.
Don't get me started.
Get started on what?
Dad, it's a sideshow.
I think that's a bit extreme.
Oh, really? Let's take Uncle Linus.
Oh, boy.
He always has that 60-year-old blanket. It's dirty, it smells, it's gross.
Yeah, but he shapes it into a pilgrim hat. It's very festive.
And then he drinks some wine and goes on and on about the great pumpkin this and the great pumpkin that.
Okay, he's a little eccentric.
Dad, when you bring out the pumpkin pie, he cries and talks to it.
Okay, he's very eccentric.
And then there's Pigpen.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. He's more your mother's friend.
He hasn't showered since, like, ever, and his name's Pigpen. Who names their kid Pigpen anyway?
Well, his parents did go to Woodstock. The concert, not Snoopy's friend.
Oh, don't get me started on Snoopy.
You love Snoopy.
I know, but ever since he became a worldwide celebrity, he's insufferable.
Babu.
Dad.
Sweetheart, he's been made into a Macy's parade balloon 8 times. That's a world record.
Yeah, and now his head's as big as one of those balloons.
Oh, he's not that bad.
He wears an ascot.
Only on holidays and when he visits the White House.
And then Lucy comes over. She just complains about everything. Schroeder
is a world-famous concert pianist.
He's 60 and he still uses a Fisher-Price piano.
Well, he has very tiny fingers.
But can't you see, Dad? It's crazy. I just want a normal Thanksgiving.
Well, this is normal. Nobody's perfect. All right. Linus has his blanket, and Lucy is crabby, and Snoopy has an attitude, and Schroeder has tiny fingers, and I'm wishy-washy. But we're all your family, and we love you.
Dad.
And if you want to spend Thanksgiving somewhere else, that's fine with us. We understand.
Oh, Dad. You are wishy-washy, but you're also good old Charlie Brown. I'm gonna stay home for Thanksgiving.
That's great. It's gonna be the best one ever. Oh, look, here comes your grandma. Hi, Mom. What's up?
What did she say, Dad?
Oh, she said, here are the ingredients. Okay, here are the ingredients. First up, the low-carb pumpkin pie crust. 2½ cups of almond flour. 1/4 cup of sweetener. 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt. 1/4 cup of butter. 1 large egg, and 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And now for the sugar-free pumpkin pie. 1 15-ounce can of pumpkin puree, 1/2 cup of heavy cream, 2 large eggs, 2/3 of a cup of powdered sweetener, 2 teaspoons of pumpkin spice, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon each of vanilla extract and black strap molasses. And finally, for the green bean casserole, 1 can of cream of mushroom or cream of celery soup, 1/2 cup of unsweetened almond milk, 1 teaspoon of soy sauce, 4 cups of cooked cut green beans, and 1 1/3 cups of French fried onions. Those are going to be divided. So any good pie starts with a really good crust. Now I have a crust recipe that's low carb, that's made with almond flour. It is delicious. I've made it before. I know you're gonna love it. Okay, so first let's go with our dry ingredients, the almond flour. This is the monk fruit allulose sweetener and the salt. And now we mix it all up. So it's all, yeah, I've made this crust not too long ago. I made for myself, I just made a low carb cheesecake. This is the same crust I used. It is delicious. All right, now for our wet ingredients. First we put in, let's put in the 1 egg. This is the 1/4 cup of butter, melted, and the vanilla. I got clear vanilla. Now we're gonna mix it in. And at first it looks like it's not going to work, but it does. It becomes a crust. And when you get to this point, which I'm at, you might have to start considering using your hands. Yeah, that's the best way to knead this into a ball. It's not too sticky, so it's all right, but it's already forming quite well. There we are. That's getting most of it. Okay. You want to do it till it gets like that. Now you can grease the tin with butter if you like, but I'm going to spray it with cooking spray. It lowers the calories, and I think it works a little bit better. Then take your dough and start pushing it down. And this dough is going to spread. And you watch, you're going to be able to spread this all the way into a complete crust. You don't have to roll it out first. I suppose you could. I've actually never tried that. But I've always done it this way. In my family, we had a lot of pie lovers. My brother, my father loved apple pie. You could not keep them away. I like apple pie, but there was something about pumpkin pie. I guess maybe the proximity to Halloween. I just found it kind of exotic. By the way, if there's a little hole, you can just cover it up. Artistic? No. Functional? Yes. I'm trying to get the pie to go all the way around the rim. I don't know if there's enough for it. I'm working on it. All right. I think we're getting close to being finished. All right, there is our pie crust. Now we're going to put it in the oven. In a preheated 350-degree oven, middle rack is fine, 12 to 15 minutes or until it's lightly golden brown. Okay, it's been 12 minutes. This is golden brown, oh yeah. Now you let this cool. While this cools, let's work on the pumpkin filling. Okay, so the filling for our pumpkin pie calls for 2/3 of powdered sweetener. I only have granulated, but you can make it powdered using a food processor, which I'm about to do. All right, so we take our food processor and we put our granulated sweetener in it. And let it rip. Okay, I didn't subject you to all of that, but I did that for about a solid minute. All right, let's mix this all together. In goes the canned pumpkin filling. Okay, in go the eggs, the heavy cream, the blackstrap molasses, and if you're worried about carbs, don't worry, this is minimal because this is going into a whole pie. The vanilla, not going in any particular order. The powders, the sweetener we just powdered. This is the pumpkin spice. That's what makes coffee so good this time of year. And salt. We mix it on slow. And a little faster now. Okay. We are all mixed. Now we're just gonna wait for our pie crust to be fully cooled, then we're gonna pour it in. It just occurred to me, I might have too much filling for the pie crust, but let's see. Let's pour it in now. Oh, I think I'm wrong, I think it's gonna be fine. Okay. Now all the instructions say that once you do this, you should bounce it like that. Oh, it does work. To kind of get the air bubbles out of it. I reduced heat on the oven to 325. Middle rack is still good. Nice and careful. There we go. For 40 to 50 minutes. Oh yeah. Now we're gonna let this cool. Then we're gonna put in the refrigerator overnight. So the pie has initially cooled, but now for best results, we're gonna put it in the refrigerator for 24 hours. Oh yeah, so I'll be back here in 24 hours and then I'll make the green bean casserole. But in the meantime, you can watch Food Facts. You would be hard-pressed to find a dessert that's more associated with a holiday than pumpkin pie and Thanksgiving. It's more than a foregone conclusion that pumpkin in some way, shape, or form was on the very first Thanksgiving table, but probably not as pie. Today, over 10 million households celebrate the holidays with pumpkin pie. Pumpkins were first cultivated in Central America around 5500 BC. Then they found their way to the New World, and then they were mentioned in Europe around the year 1536. A few years later, they were found all over England. In England, pumpkins were referred to as pompions, yes, which comes from the French pompons, which basically means and refers to the gourd's rounded form. In the 17th century, pumpkin pie was quite different from the pie that we got today. In a French cookbook in 1653, it recommends boiling the pumpkin in milk and then straining it before pouring it into a crust. In 1670, Hannah Woolley's Gentlewoman's Companion called for a pie filling with alternate layers of pumpkin and apple. An early New England recipe called for a hollowed out pumpkin to be filled with spiced milk and cooked directly on a fire. There was also an English recipe which added spiced apples. By the early 1800s, pumpkin pie earned its place as a part of Thanksgiving as the holiday grew in importance in New England. In 1705 in Colchester, Connecticut, they actually postponed Thanksgiving for a week because of a shortage of molasses that was used to make the pie. In 1796, Amelia Simmons' pioneering American cookery had not one, but two different recipes for pumpkin pie, one of which is very, very close to our custom version that we enjoy today. In 1827, Eliza Leslie offered a recipe for pumpkin pudding in her book, Miss Leslie's 75 Recipes for Pastries, Pies, and Sweetmeats. Basically, the pudding was pumpkin pie filling poured over puff pastry. Also in 1827, pumpkin pie got political when abolitionist Sarah Joseph Hale, who for years campaigned to make Thanksgiving a national holiday, mentioned pumpkin pie in her anti-slavery novel, Northwood. In 1842, another abolitionist, Lydia Maria Childs, wrote a very famous poem about Thanksgiving, and you all know it. It goes, over the river and through the... Well, I won't sing the whole thing, but it ends with, hurrah for pumpkin pie. In 1863, Abraham Lincoln made Thanksgiving an official national holiday. Then, after the Civil War, Thanksgiving and pumpkin pie truly went nationwide, mostly because of recipes that appeared in women's periodicals of the time. In 1876, a recipe for a New England pumpkin pie appeared in a cookbook by the ladies of Plymouth Church of Des Moines, Iowa. This recipe is essentially the same recipe that we still use today, only we don't have to strain and cook all those pumpkins. In 1929, Libby's introduced a line of canned pumpkin, coincidentally, the same brand that I'm using today, and it revolutionized making pumpkin pie and Thanksgiving for us all. The New Bremen Giant Pumpkin Growers of New Bremen, Ohio hold the Guinness World Records for the world's largest pumpkin pie, and I'm sorry, I have to read this off my phone. Here it is. Wow, okay. It was 20 feet wide, it weighed 3,699 pounds, it used 1,212 pounds of canned pumpkin, 109 gallons of evaporated milk, 2,796 eggs, 7 pounds of salt, 14.5 pounds of cinnamon, 525 pounds of sugar, and 440 sheets of dough. It also took 40 chefs to cook it, and I'm out of breath just talking about it. According to the American Pie Council, 1 out of every 5 Americans have eaten an entire pumpkin pie by themselves. Who would do that? Well, I live alone. Okay, it was one sitting. Okay, now it's pumpkin pie and green bean casserole trivia. October 26th is National Pumpkin Pie Day. That's well timed. Illinois is the United States leader in producing pumpkins. That's why Billy Corgan can't go there. Get it? Because he's in Smashing Pumpkins. Pumpkins are the state fruit of New Hampshire. Green bean casserole was invented by Campbell's employee Dorcas Riley in 1955 in what's now known as the Campbell Test Kitchen. The original name of green bean casserole was green bean bake, and its original recipe is in the National Inventors Hall of Fame, and there it is. There's the first one. The recipe for green bean casserole is viewed on the Campbell's website every year over 4 million times, concentrated around Thanksgiving. And also every year, over 20 million Americans enjoy the dish. And finally, green bean casserole was not meant to be a Thanksgiving dish. It was actually created to be an everyday side dish. It didn't get associated with Thanksgiving until the 1960s when Campbell's put the recipe on the back of every single can of cream of mushroom soup. And that's Food Facts. And just like that, it's the next day. The pie is ready to go. Now all I have to do is make the green bean casserole. And we start with canned green beans. Yeah, these are perfectly fine to use. You have to drain them. You can use fresh green beans too, but I am taking the shortcut. Let's drain our green beans. The cans are pre-opened. And I would usually do this in the sink, but my sink is covered. So that's all you gotta do. Once they're drained, in there. This recipe calls for 4 cups. So I have 2 15-ounce cans. That's 2 cups each. So that's 4 cups, right? If my math is correct. Okay, so now we're gonna start off by mixing our ingredients here. First we have I'm using cream of celery soup. You can use cream of mushroom too. It's totally up to you. I just had multiple cans of cream of celery in the house, so that's what I'm using. Don't ask me why. It's a personal thing. Okay. Actually, a neighbor gave it to me, and I've kept it. Here is the ½ cup of milk. I'm using almond milk. This is going to lower the carbs. That goes in. Soy sauce. And salt and pepper to taste, which I don't have in the recipe. And now we stir until this becomes uniform. All right. Yeah, like I said, I've heard of this recipe. I've made fun of this recipe, but I've never done this recipe. So I'm kind of excited, kind of trepidatious, but we shall see. Mix it in nice. And now we're going to incorporate our green beans. We're going to fold that in. Not all yet, so let's fold them in. There we go. Like I said, I'm making this out of pure curiosity. I've done several episodes where I've mentioned it. I've actually made fun of it, as I said. The oven is ready, it's good. And this does look kind of intriguing. All right, now we take part of our French fried onions and we're gonna mix it right in here. We're also gonna put more on top after it cooks for a bit. Yeah, it's gonna cook for about, I think, 20 minutes. Here we go. Yeah, I just checked. We're gonna bake this for 25 minutes. All right. That is well mixed. Let's get our pan. Hitting it with some cooking spray again. And now we're putting our mixture into the cooking vessel. The cooking vessel. All right. Looks like I picked the right size, which is good. Now we're going to save that for later. We're now going to put this into the oven. All right, the oven is preheated to 350 degrees. As always, the middle rack is good. Slide it on in. Okay. We now bake it for 25 minutes. Then when there's 5 minutes left, we're gonna put some more fried onions on it and cook it for 5 more minutes. Okay, it's been 25 minutes. Oh, it's all bubbly. Look at this. Ooh, looks good. Let's put some more onions on it. Okay. Okay. Let's put some more of these French fried onions on top of this. I'm not going to be sparingly. I love these. They have calories, but they're not super high in carbs either. All right. Okay. Yum yum. Back into the oven for 5 more minutes, and then it will be done. It feels like Thanksgiving. It's time to eat. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I have to tell you, this is the first time I ever made a pie. Much easier than I thought. And the first time I ever made the green bean casserole, and it looks great. I can't wait to taste it. I will say one thing. I think my pie, it said to put it in for like, almost 15 minutes, but I think it was a little bit too long because you could see the crust got a little burnt. That's okay, I can take that off. So when you make yours, if you make yours, be careful not to burn the crust. I even covered it with foil and it still got overdone. The great thing about both these dishes is you can make them the day before, so you don't have to go crazy on the day of. The pie, really needs to stay in the refrigerator overnight, and you can actually make the casserole, put it in the refrigerator, and reheat it the next day. Now I have to decide which one I'm going to eat first. I'm going to try the casserole. Hey, savory before sweet, right? I've never had this before. It looks really good. And I will give you my honest opinion if I like it or not. I really will. It looks great. Let's get a nice forkful here. That's healthy. Here we go. Got crunch from the onions. Of course, green beans and the cream and mushroom soup. It's got salt and pepper. I will say this, I think I oversalted it. So, because the soup has salt in it already. Very good. Very, very good. No, it's actually the salt level is fine. This is really, really delicious. This makes a nice side. And you know, not just for Thanksgiving, but any time of year, actually. Very, very cool. Now let's try the pumpkin pie. All right. Here's the pie. As you can see, I adorned it, as you saw in the picture also, with a little bit of whipped cream. I didn't make it. I actually went to the store and I bought keto whipped cream. They have it now, and it can. You can use it. It's really good. All right. Here comes my first try ever of my own homemade sugar-free pumpkin pie. Whoa, that is delicious. Oh, it's smooth, it's creamy. Oh, it just tastes really good. It's sweet. You can taste the pumpkin, of course. It's just got so, the pumpkin spice does come through too. It has so many great flavors. It tastes so fresh because it is. It's not one you buy in a box. Oh, this is absolutely terrific. You put this on your Thanksgiving table. You notice I'm taking a third bite. You put this on your Thanksgiving table, you will be a hero, especially when you tell them it's sugar-free. That is really good. Both of these recipes are winners. Oh yeah. And that's it for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Happy Thanksgiving. And remember, until next time, 2 weeks from now, be well. Wait. Eat good. And don't forget the cranberries.